The last context that I wanted to briefly talk about where you will encounter land in transitional and conflict environments is the development context. And I wanted particularly to talk about this issue of land tenure security and insecurity and how you can deal with that in the context of societies that have gone through great stresses like protracted conflict or even short-term conflict. Very often from an economic development context, a key issue will be tenure security. How do you make sure that people themselves, outside internal investors, actually have some level of security when they put their money into improving the land, into growing things, into constructing on the land? And there's been a tendency, I think, unfortunately still in the past couple of years that has continued from before, I think, to equate or to have an understanding of land tenure security that has somehow to do with documentation. And I think in many transitional and post-conflict environments, we have to be very careful to assume that giving people documents or setting up a process that will give people documents to land is actually the best way of improving land tenure security. And often what you will find is that it may well be that more community-driven processes, whereby community dialogues, land rights clarification processes involving the communities are much more viable and much more conducive to improving land tenure security in post-conflict environments than formal land titling process. And the examples that I could give, or the warning signs, is when you have had large-scale displacement, land titling should never occur without having the displaced population presence, because once you start doing that, you will create new conflict, because the people that will be displaced often will be locked out of these processes unless you can guarantee full participation. Are the institutions, is the rule of law environment there? Is it sometimes, especially in societies that have gone to conflict, the fact that people have managed their land and property relations away from the state can have been given protection to them. And once you provide state institutions with tools to say this person has a right to land, this person doesn't have a land to land, unless there is a full rule of law, or not a full, unless there is an improving rule of law environment, risks are that this becomes a source of corruption and abuse of power. So development context, land issues in the transitional environments cannot be addressed as they can be addressed in stable countries. And again, this issue of conflict impact assessment is very important. I hope this whole module has given you some taste of what some of the land issues are and what the relationships are between land and conflict, what some of the issues are you need to look out for in supporting or doing programming on land in transitional or conflict-affected environments. And I hope that that also complements the materials that you'll be able to read from the reading list. Thank you very much.